Hola people, this is Kim and I'm one of the hosts of Eat Some Dynamite, and this is our third episode. This episode is very special because today we have our very first guest. Her name is Abigail Dela Cruz and she's an illustrator slash game artist slash extraordinary human being. So, we hope you enjoy.
Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 2.
Episode 3.
Oh, I thought it was part 2. 2B.
You said
There's it's episode 3, which is part 2 of Eat Some Dynamite. We cut it short last week, so this can be a continuation, but we've got someone special here joining us. And I'll leave that to Kim to introduce her.
Hi guys, this is Kim. So we have a very special guest in this episode.
our first guest.
Yeah,
First ever
our
guest.
very first guest in the show. Okay.
You can hear her laughing in the background. That's her.
Miss Abigail Dela Cruz.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who are familiar with her works, you might know her around the interwebs as hyamei. Hyamei. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was saying it wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our research
All these
department
years.
isn't very good. You might know her as hyamei,
Yeah.
and she's got some work out there. You know, if you've been paying attention, you know she's got a lot of followers and she's got a lot of fans. So we're very very honored to have her here tonight. And so Abby, Abby's okay, or would you like to be called? No, Abby's good. Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, let's start from the beginning.
Okay then.
Tell us
about things for
Sorry for cutting you off. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Let's say your secret origin.
My secret origin.
Yeah. How did?
You mean when I started drawing?
Mm-hmm.
It was when I was in 6th grade. I started drawing
Mm-hmm.
in
Six.
6th grade.
Yeah.
How old was I? I started in 6th grade and then
That's
It's-
kind of, is that young or is that later? I don't know. I forgot the grade system, but isn't grade 6
How old?
isn't that like 12 or 13?
I guess because around 10. Hmm. you
Grade 6? 10 years old?
I'm not sure.
No.
Yeah, no, it's because system's different. But so you weren't one of those kids that started drawing, you know, from the time that you could.
You hold your pencil.
Yeah,
No. It was
Wow.
Start
weird.
scribbling on walls.
No, I did. I copied coloring books. I traced anime coloring books. The anime face.
Yeah.
In the
Now,
typical
which anime is
story.
that?
I don't know. It was a Japanese coloring book I found in the house, so I just used. Anyways, yeah, it was my anime phase till high school. And then when I started in college, and then I kind of stopped focusing on drawing and all that. And then it was only until when I worked here that I got, serious with illustration.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Wow. Now during college, what is your major? What is your major?
I
during
was
college?
a computer science student.
Wow, that's
Yeah, that's
Well,
isn't that similar to
Pretty much
Kim's?
like him, yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
What course?
Yeah.
information technology.
High five. Yeah, I just took
With
it.
majoring in biochemistry.
Oh.
Joke.
In a different universe, you guys would be programmers.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
I took it because it was practical. It was the
Yes.
practical.
Was it practical from your opinion, or did your
parents'
No.
standpoint?
did your parents think it was practical?
I got through, and then
Yeah. So you actually have a degree in computer science.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Don't ask me to program though.
Is it nicely framed somewhere in your house?
Nicely framed, buried away somewhere, never to be seen again.
But nicely framed.
Yeah, that's a nice story to tell.
Yeah. And fun. So. Fun.
Yeah, that's like fun. Okay, so you started by regular drawing kid standards kind of late, right? Because that's almost or I don't know, like because we told our origin stories and we all started at like really really young ages. So how did that affect you getting into it kind of late? And as you said, you only started really focusing on it when you got here. How's that experience been for you?
I never took drawing as seriously as a career before. Like, when you think about fine arts, you would think about galleries and oil paintings and whatnot. And then you would say, what are the chances I'll get famous with that? So I just took the practical way in the computer course.
Statistically not very high.
It was okay, I guess. I just didn't like the math.
Mhm.
Ugh, the math. But anyways, after I graduated in computer science, I took a 1-year course in 3D animation. And then that's where I realized that you can make a career out of art. Besides, the usual gallery thing that
The commercial
painting
arts.
your painters and whatnot. Yeah. So
Get famous before you die.
this company, Studio Secret 6, was scouting for artists there. So I'm here. I just took the opportunity and then.
I actually remember when you came in for your interview. I think we might all remember that.
Yeah.
I think you had your hair tied back or something.
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Whoa, she's tall."
I think this is the time she was wearing.
Always the first
really high.
impression. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have been wearing like heels then.
Were you with Paul that day?
What?
Were you with Paul that day?
No.
No, I think Paul went a little bit later. They applied at the same time,
Yeah.
but she got called first because she's Abby.
Oh.
Although
I
at
didn't
that time, we
actually-
didn't.
Enough said.
I didn't even know what was I going to apply for. They were
Yeah.
asking modeling or texturing, and I said, I don't know any of those. I wasn't an expert of any of those, so I just said, they just told me, go for texturing. Okay, let's go, sure.
It's like, you don't know what to do. Do this. Okay.
As long as you get paid.
So you did the test and
Oh, I saw that test.
yeah, I mean,
Why that test?
was it good? Was it?
I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, imagine this. Like, out of 20 who came here, and way back then, we start, our test given to the people who are applying, especially the students, are usually draw a full anatomy figure, but in action.
Yeah, I was bad at that.
And I was mad at that as well. Plus, it was freezing in here. So that's one, and the other one was to draw a scene where 3 characters are interacting.
Mhm.
And the funny thing is, most of the students who took that test, especially on that scene where you need 3 characters interacting, they usually go for 3 of them fighting over something. And what stand out was Abby's work. It was, I mean, I guess in my
It's all coming back to you
opinion,
now.
Yeah.
I guess in my opinion, it's not, her characters weren't really fighting, but more of talking. But somehow she was able to create she was able to say more by doing less.
Yeah, I sort of thought about doing a fighting scene, but then I said that's predictable.
And you're right.
That was
It would have been very predictable. So luckily you didn't do it.
Yeah, you always have that mentality that what everybody's doing, I have to do something different.
Yeah.
Like I know it would kill me, but
Well, it's either, if you're going to do something different, automatically you don't have to compete with everyone. Because if everyone's doing the same thing, you have to do it better than everyone. But if you do your own thing, then you can kind of make your own, make your own standard. And then be different and be creative and be good through that rather than trying to be the best fighting scene out there. Yeah, it's an easier and also more creative way.
yeah.
It's more like standing still on a dance floor.
Yeah. That never works though. Like, that's not cool, guys. Like you don't do that.
You don't do that, yeah.
Abby doing a different drawing is cool. You standing on the dance floor is not cool. No one does that.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to dance, Kyle.
I just thought of something. Abby's like Angel's Burger.
What?
Yeah. Like
Angelic.
No. I mean,
Everybody's
doing the expensive burgers, right?
The gourmet.
And then Abby's like, oh no, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna be creative and be different. And then boom, Angel's Burger.
And at the end of the day,
Thanks for the compliment.
So now, besides that, especially since we're in the topic of burgers, because now we're hungry. Yeah, well, how do I say this? I mean, her style. I'm sure everyone has seen her work.
No,
if you haven't, we're gonna post up some links after this.
10,000 the thousands of Twitter followers you have says otherwise.
Don't worry, guys.
Thousands?
Hook you up.
Thousands. I mean, even when she
I have 8 followers.
What's Twitter?
I mean, even before she came here, her dev art page views were like 6 digits.
How do you know that, John? How do you know that?
How do you know this number?
Because
I don't even know these
deviant art,
numbers.
and then you just look at
So you actually heard of, or you knew Abby before she applied here?
No.
Not really. It was after I saw her. After I saw her test, that's where we go like, oh wow, this is
It's different, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. There's no fighting.
But it's a good different. I remember there was another person that did a test when you had to do a street corner, and someone did like a Google Map like top down view of a street corner. I've never seen that person. That's an example of standing still in the middle of a dance floor. Not everything that's unique is good.
I said I'm sorry.
But so that's a lot of followers. That's cool.
Yeah, and from what we've seen from your personal websites, DeviantArt or especially in Tumblr, where most of your stuff are basically there.
Yeah.
Your art style has this kinetic energy to them.
Well, thank you.
Well,
I agree. Yeah.
Again,
we all agree.
It moves us.
Again, it still has that thing that you've carried on from your first drawing that we saw, which is saying more by doing less. And those kinds of principles were pretty much taught upon art students, especially on animation. So yeah, would you say that that kind of skill or that kind of principle influences you a lot? And if so, what are the? I'm sorry, I'm asking too much. So,
it's okay.
What are your favorite and your most inspiring animated films?
Oh,
that's a loaded question.
Can I answer the second question?
I'm pretty sure
Can I answer the second question?
A lot of our followers would ask the same thing.
Just pile it on.
Maybe the second question.
What do we have left?
Those were good questions.
Those were.
Yeah.
Now to recap, those questions were. No, okay. Yeah, sorry. So
One at a time.
Yeah.
Let's
The
start
second
with the
question.
Yeah,
favorite anime
favorite
and films.
Yeah,
Let's start with that.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Favorite animated film. Thinking mostly it's Studio Ghibli movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Definitely
Spirited
see
Away.
there.
Okay, that's too obvious, but I
shout out to Miyazaki.
my favorite would be Tangled, I guess, and Wreck-It Ralph. Particularly because Tangled, when I bought the art book of Tangled, it was like the first time I've ever realized that you can do more than game art. I mean,
So,
there's so
Disney.
much more.
Disney.
You just don't need to be an
She's
animator
reaching
in
out to
Disney. There's such a thing as visual development, and that was something that I realized that I really wanted to do. And then for Wreck-It Ralph, it was something that I really love the story. It made such an impact on me. I don't know why, but I said to myself after the movie that I would want to be a part of something like this someday. Maybe at least one feature film in my life. I would love that.
that's twice Disney.
So, yeah,
that's
that
twice
was-
she's called out.
Okay. I love a lot of other movies too, but I gotta think about that first.
Now, so regarding your art style, how would you describe it?
Not as detailed. Simple, maybe. Could I say I always go for something whimsical? Yeah. It's some
Whimsical stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a real vibrancy to her work, and I think that is because of the simplicity that you go for.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Maybe it's because I'm not really good at detailed stuff.
No, but I mean-
it's like,
Not good at
let's just
details
let me
either.
embrace that.
no, but it's
that
good
fact.
because what you do is you don't tie it down with all that detail.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what happens is the artwork can breathe, and the colors kind of just speak for themselves, and they have their own life. You know, I'm not an illustrator, but you know, there's a real sense. You know, from as Jem said, it's really important with animation. You can sense the movement and the kind of life that's in your drawings, and you know that.
Thanks.
Not to mention the colors, because
Oh yeah.
like
yeah.
from I remember back in college, I was always looking for something that would somehow improve my art. And besides the technical stuff, like what they usually teach us, anatomy, the basics,
fundamentals.
yep, the fundamentals. I was disappointed they haven't shown much about color until I've tried learning stuff on my own, especially in comics. I mean, yeah, there were good colorists, but there weren't any like wow colorists. And so, and again, going back to her website, her works are just filled with this certain palette that gives out certain warmth to everything.
Yeah.
And everything feels floaty, and if anything, especially amateur students, they would just pile on different kinds of colors that aren't really harmonizing the whole thing. But somehow they're considered that okay, this must be finished because I've done a lot. And again, her aesthetic of less is more. Not only on how she drew her characters, but also how she rendered the entire illustration with color.
Yeah. So is there a go-to palette that you tend to gravitate toward, or a certain style? Like if someone was to say, "What's the Abigail Dela Cruz palette?" You know, is there like a certain thing that pops up in your head automatically, and then you go from there and develop? Or?
No, I don't. Actually, I don't know. It's just when I do a painting, it's usually mostly trial and error. Mostly. Yeah. So
So is this a feeling kind of thing? When you feel it, you choose this color.
no,
You like feel your way through
It's
it.
more of intuitive.
no, sort of. No, it's more of like when I do a night sky, I usually think about black and stars, and then I would as I go, it will change. The idea would change to maybe I'll change it to blue, I'll change it to purple. Thank you, Photoshop, for letting me do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's more of trial and error. The usual my final images usually don't end up looking the way I imagined it most of the time.
I mean,
but
who
I'm
does?
pretty happy with it. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, it is. And just a small thought. You mentioned you weren't actually your major wasn't actually related to anything that in the field of arts. So, and yet somehow you were able to create these wonderful illustrations that everybody has been talking about. So, we were wondering how do you get your resources or tutors, or how do you learn besides trial and error?
The internet. The internet has so many resources actually. When you look at other people's art, you can actually absorb what they do.
Besides
And then
feeling
subconsciously,
besides feeling shitty for yourself.
yeah, besides that, of course, that you have to make it positive. You try very hard to think about it. I can do this too someday. But yeah, it's mostly because of other artists online and offline. Yeah, that taught me how to actually draw in color and paint. So yeah, it's more influences of my favorite artists throughout the years, and then it just constantly evolves to what I do now.
Yeah, creating your own style.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty much that way.
who are your let's say the artist that influences you the most?
Right now.
Right. Yeah. Right now.
Ah.
I mean, your style right now is drastically different from 4 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Which was 4 years ago. It was more of it really leans towards the anime style.
Oh yeah. I
And
remember
then
that.
fast forward now, there has to obviously there is a change of artists that you look up on.
Oh yeah. Mostly it's from artists from Twitter.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a big thing that really helped me.
Give a shout out.
Oh no, that's a lot. Oh no.
Top three.
What's that?
Twitter? What's Twitter?
No. Arts in Twitter? Is that
No, it's mostly just a group of people who I
okay.
met on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
So there are a
You
lot.
guys
You're famous.
There are a lot. So there was this sort of a group, a Twitter group that called Sketch Dailies.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big thing when I went into Twitter, and then they said they would give a topic and then they would post they would retweet it for everybody to see what they would do. And then that was how I met other people, and then that's how I got influences in me. I don't know. It's more of yeah. Sorry.
So, social media. What's the best platform for artists like us? What do you think?
Twitter.
Twitter?
Or Tumblr, I guess.
Okay. Not
Tumblr.
Facebook? No, not Facebook.
Facebook is good. They say
Is for
that-
your ethos.
Well, social media wise, they say that you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
So you have to go for Instagram, you have to go for Twitter, Facebook, and then Tumblr, DeviantArt, I guess, but I don't I don't use that anymore.
Okay.
But yeah,
Is that still operational, the event art?
Yeah, they
Yes, that's still work.
revamped their entire image,
Mm-hmm.
trying to look more professional.
a bit more confusing.
True.
Yeah.
So yeah, that how in regards to social media, again, you have shit tons of followers, and it's growing.
That's
And it's basically growing every day.
Yeah, you guys can follow too.
We're gonna post it on
Yeah.
the SoundCloud links to her work. I mean,
Yeah. As you guys heard it, she uses the people that she meets on the internet as inspiration, and she draws from you. So for the more of you follow her, the stronger she'll get, and she'll take over the world. Just keep on
No, I
following.
will
Keep on
not.
following.
I actually made a Tumblr page
For Angel Burger.
that follows Abby's Tumblr. Abby draws.
Wait, so
That
so you
Tumblr.
just made a Tumblr just to follow?
Yep, and it's called
Gabby
Gabby
draws.
Check it out, yeah.
I was
I bet you were flattered.
I was kind of shocked. Who's this person
that
asking?
makes sense.
Oh, it's Kim. I forgot.
So okay, so tell me about your process.
It's a mess. I don't have any straightforward process.
Mm-hmm.
I do everything roughly,
Mm-hmm.
and I do my best just to try and refine it through the way. So my works aren't really that polished. I like it that way. So it's most of going back and forth with my process. I go back and then most of my initial sketches don't end up looking like my final images, really.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, right? When regarding sketches, where everything feels loose, and then you try so hard to try to translate from your sketch
It's
to your final work,
Yeah.
and somehow your final work ends up really stiff and
Yeah. That's the challenge. That's always the challenge for me. So I usually do is when I try to sketch, I usually do the colors as fast as I could, just to get down the mood, everything.
basically colors first.
Yeah, no sketch, and then I just splotch in some colors, anything, layer styles in it, or
No,
glows or whatever.
You're not that kind of artist that goes for the values first.
No,
Have you tried
I
that?
think I'm a
Have you
rebel.
tried that method?
No, it's not easy for me.
It's painstakingly long.
So I usually try to, when I splotch on the colors, I usually put down the hue saturation just to check the values. Is it good? Is it not good? So yeah, that's how I do it. I don't do values first, but I think I gotta learn how to do that too, eventually. So yeah.
Eventually. So right now, I'm pretty sure you're still eager to learn some new stuff.
Oh God, yes. Yeah.
And just recently, you told me that you were involved in an internship program with the one and only Garrett Hanna.
Yeah.
It's really awesome to hear that.
That's big.
And again, out of how many applied?
I'm not sure. They didn't tell me how many.
But it was a lot.
I guess, yeah. But
Is this
3
with
of
the
us were
schoolism
chosen.
thing?
No, it's
No?
different. It's Motivarti. It's a one-on-one mentorship program.
We're gonna add that in the name. For all you guys.
So yeah,
Burger.
yeah, I was happy he picked me.
I'm sure he was happy you came along. And I didn't mean that. I mean, it's fun for mentors to have someone that they can see
Yeah.
potential in.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he
I
didn't
was
pick you by
really
accident.
You have to
Yeah.
find your mentor, remember?
Yeah.
In the first episode.
Find your ate. Find your ate.
Yeah. So and right now, I mean, I've seen some of your later works. You've somehow transitioned from usually your illustrations show it's basically flat, but it has a certain illusion of depth in it, even though the characters are clearly 2D. And right now, I think is your mentorship done, by the way, or
Not yet.
how
There's
cool
a
is it?
few
Much
more.
to learn.
Yeah.
And right now, your latest works, especially in the characters, it shows more depth, and it kind of reminded me of stuff that Zedig would do.
Yeah, he's currently my influence right now too.
Those crazy French people.
He's pretty good. And then,
Wait, sorry to interrupt.
We just checked Abby's Twitter, and right now she's sitting on 10.4 thousand followers. So that's kind of low by Abby standards, right? Let's get it up to 11, 12.
Yeah.
I don't gauge how good you are by how many followers. I've seen a lot of good artists with so little followers though.
Yeah, and then
So
you've
I
got
don't
people
believe
that
that.
have a lot of followers that aren't worth following. So
Probably that would spike when our episode.
yeah, it'll be like
Yeah,
10,000, 10,450.
You're gonna have to make another Twitter account.
No, but that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, so you do have a lot of people following you, and that's it must be a nice feeling. I mean, it's not so much about how many people are following you, but the fact that your work is getting out there, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it helps.
that's so cool.
What company do you dream of
Um,
going to? I mean, you can't be here forever, am I right?
What's the target?
oh god.
Yeah, aim for the moon, Abby.
Well,
Let's talk about that.
animation studio wise,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you
Of
plan
course,
on
that
getting
would
into
be-
animation, the animation
would-
studios.
I would love that. Really, I would love to try it.
Now, what
After-
animation studios?
Of course.
Specifically, what?
I'm sensing a third shout out
Come
coming out.
on. Huh?
Go ahead.
Well, it's
share.
Pixar and Disney would be.
Disney. Three
Of
times
course,
she's
of
called out
course.
to you.
But
Yeah.
okay,
Three
but
times.
it's not the end goal for me. I
You're just a stepping
See,
stone, Disney.
I don't want it to be
Stepping
the
stone.
end goal
You're
for
an
me.
option.
no.
You ain't even plan A, bro.
Bro,
But game studio wise, I would love to work for Giant Squid Studios or
the one that made.
Journey. Well, the guy who made Journey,
Oh,
Matt Nava.
oh yeah.
He's me.
Cool.
There was a small team though.
Yeah, but I really love their stuffs. I
Mm.
really love the way they make games.
Would you prefer working on a AAA game studio or a small indie studio?
Oh god. Indie game sounds exciting.
Yeah. And what
It sounds exciting for me.
why?
They have more creative freedom. I guess.
Yeah. What he said.
and I'm pretty sure it's because you also notice that indie game studio kind of aligns with the style you want to work on in regards to
Indie games?
AAA. Yeah.
I guess, yeah. But
Mhm.
it would be cool to work on a AAA studio too.
Give them the
But I
choice.
don't think it's something that my style, you know. Even when I work here, there was a point there I do a lot of gritty props and whatnot, and it's something so different from what I do at work. I do at home, so yeah. I would want to work on something that's complementing my style someday.
Cool.
Are you open to collaborations?
Yeah, why not? I would love it if I have the time. But
I just need to find out if Disney is open to collaboration.
come on. It's a dream. It's one of my dreams. I think it's everybody's dream.
Yeah.
Open those doors, Disney.
Mickey Mouse calling out to you. I've always been curious because you have quite a bit of influence. You've got several thousand people kind of tuned in to what you put up. I'm sure we have a lot of aspiring artists out there who are looking to break into the industry and who started late, and they're not quite sure how to take that next step. The same steps that you've taken over the last few years. Are you able to give us maybe two big pieces of advice, or the two things that you wish you had known back then, that kind of pushed you to where you are now?
Like the one advice you wish you'd say, who you wish they'd say to you.
Yeah, like if I knew what I knew then, or if I knew then what I know now. Sorry.
I'm not really sure.
Like
the one thing you wish.
That I knew.
No, you wish they would say to you
When I
when you're
was
learning.
that
Because-
maybe that there's a lot of options for art,
Mhm.
careers for art. That's it's not just what you think that you do for galleries and stuff. There's so much more for games, for movies, or for anything actually. So yeah, I wish somebody told me that.
And yet here you are.
And I guess I never really thought about it much, but it's nothing. When you say that you don't need art school to get any better, I think nobody told me that before. I said, maybe I should have gone to art school. Maybe that was what I was supposed to do. But I was already in fourth year computer science, and it's like maybe it's too late. But then I took 3D animation, which didn't help as much for my illustration, but it did help me. No, I can't really compare that 1 year to what you guys do in fine arts. I can't judge that because I haven't experienced being in fine arts before. So yeah.
How about, say, especially like someone comes up to you and then he asks, "How could I make my painting look like yours?" Well, not strictly yours, or at least as good as yours. Does that give? What advice would you give?
Some people ask me that, and I still haven't found a good answer. I don't know where to start.
It's like, I don't think you can.
No. It's more.
No, because everyone's different and special. Not because she's above
No,
everyone.
I'm just really bad at words.
There you go. So there's still hope, guys. Keep asking. She'll come up with an answer eventually.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's more of you don't be negative when you see other people's art. I know it's hard, but it's really, you're supposed to, you have to turn it around to something positive and see it in a way that it can influence your work, how it influences your work. It's something that I've been doing for a few years, and it's been such a big help for me to not be negative about, okay, I'm not gonna be good enough ever, and there's too many people. They're too good.
Especially in this day of age.
Yeah, when there's the internet, you can see everything. So, but yeah, you're supposed. You have to think in a more positive way that you can do it too. That you just have to keep trying, and then you have to just figure it out why it connects with how these artworks connects with you, and you just reverse engineer and then you apply it to your own. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Church.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
an advice.
I have a question,
Yeah.
Abby. What drives you?
What drives me?
Yeah.
Besides your driver.
I was going to say
Come
that.
on.
But
That
he
did
said
not
it,
need
not
to
me.
be said.
He said it, not me.
No, I mean, you have 10,000 followers, and
What drives
you're
me?
still trying to study every day. I see you every day practicing, doing. Yeah. What drives you? I mean,
Yeah,
To
what keeps you going?
yeah.
What fuels that?
That passion of
That
yours.
I guess I want to be really good at storytelling, and to be really good at that, you have to be good at color and lighting and anatomy, of course. Then
And
you have to,
everything else.
and everything. When you realize that, and you have to say, I got to learn everything. So I'm very motivated to at least try every day.
How about not art related?
Oh,
I
God.
mean, what motivates you outside art?
That's I haven't realized that.
Oh, that's it. It's a good question, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
For example, Kim, what motivates you outside of work?
Ate B.
good burgers, and of course, my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family. I could say that.
Okay.
They've been very supportive of me art-wise, so it's very motivating.
That's
To
a
keep
big
going.
thing. Having
Are
your family
your
support
are
you.
your parents artists?
No, they're both doctors.
Wow.
So, At one point, I was
I don't
told
wanna
that
be
I
a
have to be a
doctor.
doctor, but I don't like blood, so I can't be a doctor. So yeah, before they were a bit skeptical about it, but I'm very happy that they've been very supportive of me. When I got the job here, they realized that, hey, okay, she can make money out of this, what she likes. And that's good
It always
enough.
goes back to that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you can actually make
I'm
money out of this.
happy
Yeah.
that- No, they've been very more
Touche.
supportive. They've been supportive
Yeah.
now. So they were asking, "Oh, what's this for?" "Oh, it's for a gallery."
Do they
It's
know how
really
many
cool.
followers you have?
Hmm?
Do they know how many followers you have?
No,
Look, bam.
I don't tell them.
What does 10K mean?
It's like 10,500 people think I can make a career out of this. So, oh, you tell them, girl.
That's nice, honey.
And then it turns out your mom has like 20,000 followers.
Try harder.
Oh my god, mom. So, next question. So, right now, you mentioned you are interested on VisDev,
Mhm.
and can you tell us a little bit more about that about that field?
VisDev is sort of a pre-production pipeline where they do concepts of characters, different variations of characters, backgrounds, and whatnot.
Mhm.
So it's a very, very, I can't say tedious. It's very hard. I think it's a very hard work
Mhm.
because I've been trying to make a visual development portfolio, and it's not as easy as I thought it was. I thought it would be just make a character and make a background, and then you're done. It comes with self-doubt, and then is my story good enough? Is everything good enough? Is my drawing good? It's not.
Do you do you make your own stories, or is it something that you take a story that
I love making stories in my head when I'm bored.
Yeah,
So that's what actually motivates me to draw more.
cool.
So it's always nice to have those times when you're really bored that you just think a lot. So yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit of what you're working on right now?
Are we allowed to get into that?
That's
Are we-
okay. I've been very busy with doing some bit of gallery work.
Oh, gallery work.
Yeah.
Even gallery
Well, only for
work.
the weekends. I don't have the time for weekdays.
What gallery is that?
One is the upcoming Studio Ghibli art show.
Ooh.
And that
Isn't
was-
that the company you idolize? And
Hmm?
you're doing stuff for their gallery thing?
what?
Because you mentioned that was one of your major influences,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then
Oh, yeah.
now you're kind of doing stuff for their gallery. So it's kind of
It's not official, but a curator from California was invited. Last year, I signed up for a Sailor Moon show, and then they liked my work, and then they invited me back again to do this. So
Oh.
Big time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the
It
moment?
sounds pretty official.
But-
until-
no.
Is
Well,
that-
they do a lot of gallery shows in the U.S., which
Yeah.
I
Is
really,
that the
really
start of
envious.
everything? Of
It-
everything that you've done right now?
Because of it was because of Sailor Moon shows. There was a couple of Sailor Moon shows last year that I got invited. So it was from there that I got invited back for a few more shows the next time around.
Vacation.
Shows.
yeah.
Plural, guys.
It ain't official, but it's
Come on.
legit. Legit.
I get invited
It was a dream for me.
to drink.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There was a curator from California. Boom.
Oh,
Legitimate.
can't find that on Google Maps. Yee.
It's more about just finding the opportunities and then just go with it.
How did they find you for Sailor Moon? Did they follow you on Twitter and
They
then see
they
you?
had a sign up.
Oh,
They had
okay,
a sign
cool.
up period, and then I just took the opportunity. It's like, okay, I would
Can I
love to make
join
Sailor Moon.
That too.
Yeah. So you encourage other people.
Yes, I would. You don't wait for other people to go for you.
Is
When
it
their
just-
opportunity comes,
Boom.
you go for it.
Paintings?
You hear
Is it
that,
for
people?
illustrations? Or can I submit like a photo of me?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. You have the portfolio. You have to show up your portfolio most of the time. It was also from In Gallery Nucleus. That was the biggest.
There you go, guys. Even Abby,
No, here. This is
Science.
This
even
is the
Abby
thing.
has to sign up and take those
Come on.
opportunities.
Yeah.
No,
she had
that
to wait
was-
in line.
That was the thing. In Gallery Nucleus, that was something of a dream before a few years ago. I remember that seeing the website and said, I would love to be part of this someday. With seeing all these artists, I said, how could I ever be here? And then it was this year. It was this year that they had an open call for the Avatar show, Avatar Legend of Korra. And it was my favorite series ever. So it's like, this was the perfect opportunity to take it. I said, I'll just do it. There was a chance I couldn't get in, and because there were so many good people. But I
This
got
is
in.
where Naughty Dog also made their exhibit.
Gallery Nucleus.
Yeah.
Well, they're pretty
Some gallery.
It was okay.
Yeah, I'll never get in.
Yeah, so I
Hey, I still remember that.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
But,
Just little gallery on the side.
California. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Cali.
Cali.
They have such good themes. That's
They
why
do,
I can't
and
resist.
it's really nice. I think it's really cool that you kind of see these opportunities and then you really go out and go for it. Like as you said, you don't wait for opportunities to come to you. You kind of have to go out there and get it.
Make
So-
your own.
Because
So
all
you have
the
to-
talent in the world just
You just have to keep drawing until you see that opportunity. I've been
That's
very lucky that I was in the perfect time when I think I'm a bit confident enough in my work that I said I could try this. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll have a shot at this. So yeah, I just
it must be a great
Kept
feeling though.
Mhm.
Like it must be a great feeling knowing that like you're gonna try out for this and you know that there's a you're
Constantly.
valid. You can go there and not be embarrassed or not second guess yourself. Like you could apply for it and you got in.
I still have to improve, of course.
Yeah.
It's always a constant thing that you have to improve.
That's right.
I like that mentality. The beginner's mentality.
The
I
what?
think the beginner's mentality. Like, you're good enough to try stuff out, but you feel that you still
It's never
have...
enough.
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
Never settle.
It's
Like-
always changing.
Impossible is nothing.
You're always searching
Just do
for
it.
that
Yeah.
burger, the perfect
Yeah,
burger.
that's true.
Who's that artist who said, if you're an artist and you have an ego, you have already failed?
I'm not sure.
I
Jon
think.
Snow.
Anyway, I think it was Joe Madureira. He has this list.
The comic guy.
Yeah. He has this list on everything that's regarding on being an artist, and the one thing that stands out really was your ego.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Of course, man.
yeah, I mean, sure, from time to time you have to be proud of yourself, but then again, if your ego is just way too big, you pretty much failed at your craft because somehow that would block you on moving forward, and as well as improving.
So on that topic, Abby, how do you tame your ego?
Hmm?
How do you tame your ego?
How do I tame my ego?
It's like a beast.
Whenever you look at the internet, it always tames your ego.
It's
true.
True.
It's never
Good
ending.
stuff.
Well said, well said.
Yeah. No matter how good you are, there's always someone better than you.
Always.
Always.
But don't feel bad about that. It's-
You have this saying, Kim, right? Like, if you're sleeping, then
Like, when you're sleeping, there's
Yeah.
someone
doing
awake
doing
practicing
yeah.
your
Yeah, that's a
craft,
good
and then
thing
you're
to
like
think about.
smiling in your sleep, you're dreaming.
Huh?
And then
Okay, that's
there's this other
Yeah.
guy working on his craft,
yeah.
and then whoop your ass in the morning. And then you wake up.
Oh, I don't know that.
Eat the burger.
No,
not
Who
you.
quoted that?
It's true
But-
though. Like there's always
Yeah,
there's
it's-
always someone out there.
It's something to think about every day.
Yeah.
You have to
Take
think
the
that
throne.
someone
you
when
gotta
when you're
outwork.
doing something now, it means that you're a step ahead to someone else.
and I'm sure it's always never easy.
Never.
Especially for our day jobs. Yeah.
That's
Like,
true.
besides working ourselves to the bone, just to finish our work on time, or at least go home on time. I mean, every time when I get home and I'm really excited to do something, like, I'm gonna create some new art, or maybe make some fan art.
Yeah.
But then I opened my Steam and I started playing Fallout 3. So much for my extra 3 hours before sleep.
Rescue time, boy.
Well, actually, I have rescue time, but then I chose to ignore it.
I am choosing to ignore you,
But
time.
that mentality of there's always someone out there kind of awake doing things while you're asleep.
Watching you sleep.
It catches up to them eventually. I've been doing that over the last couple of weeks.
Sleeping?
No, not sleeping
Okay.
at all.
Watching people sleep.
trying to to keep working because like I was working here, and then I'd go home, and that's when I'd actually just work on my own stuff.
When you do work.
It's very hard to maintain. It's very hard to keep up, and
Plus, it will take its toll on you.
yeah, definitely. So
But I
You
guess
feel shitty about
if you
if you feel bad about someone that's out there awake, still doing stuff, it's gonna catch up to them, and then when they fall asleep, you just choke them,
okay,
and then everyone's
that's
happy.
not how the quote goes.
Make my own damn quotes.
You want to
But
get
yeah.
better
Yeah.
here.
Don't be negative about competition. Just get rid of them.
actually not a
Just get
bad
rid of
strategy.
them.
But yeah, you appreciate your free time when there's not enough free time.
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to
It's like
appreciate
when we used to have to take. Did you guys have to take naps when you were kids? Did your parents make you take naps? I was like, oh, I don't want to take naps. I want to go play. And then now I'm like, bro, I want to take a nap right now.
Really?
I'm gonna
I just had lunch and it's nap time. I feel like it's nap
I love
time.
naps.
Yeah, fuck you all. I'm going to sleep. Off the slumberland.
Yeah.
Abby, how do you spend your weekends? Do you still do art?
Yes, I do. I try to. At times I bum out. I try not to bum out, but it's always the hardest part is always trying to start on the weekend because you just wanna not think about stuff after a long day.
But do you feel like you should leave the weekends out?
Yeah, like do you go for that balance of having the social life and the art life and the work life and
Climb a mountain?
Just unplug
just
everything.
watch the sunrise,
Well, we do that
listen
during
to the
outings.
breeze.
That's what outings are for. But yeah, most of my weekends I spend time doing art because I get frustrated Monday to Friday not doing art.
Yeah.
So it builds up to the weekend, and then I just go for and then I mope around on Sunday night. It's a Monday again, and I have to do it all over again.
Yeah, I kind of know that feeling, that utter disappointment when you wake up in the afternoon in a Saturday, and you're still gotta do something, And
Yeah,
end
you
up-
just lost half the day.
Yeah, thank you, Tumblr.
But do you think it's is it possible to be able to practice that much and still leave time aside for the social life, the going out, the
I
friends?
think it helps. You're supposed to
Yeah.
balance your social life with.
The yin and yang.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Because we don't want our listeners to think that you have to go out there and pretty much kill yourself. Working,
You would
working,
probably
working,
burn
working.
out if you just do art.
Burnout. That's a thing we've heard very frequently
You have to refresh yourself every
in the
now and
last few
then.
weeks.
I guess anyone in the creative field would have this drive to
Mm.
sacrifice anything just to create some art, some purpose.
At
And
some point, you would feel that way, I guess.
Yeah,
But
there
you
are
have to
days-
realize that you have to slow
you're
down
living-
at times.
What use are you when you're dead?
Well, there was a podcast before. That they said, "What was the advice that you would take?" And you say, when somebody says travel, you would go for it. Just go for traveling. It would help you. And that made an impact on me. Yeah, I should do that. Really, I should travel more.
So,
Otherwise,
where would you want to go? You're how old are you now? You're 25, 26?
Just turned 26.
Just turned 26.
Oh.
And you're at that point of life where you can start taking those steps forward. Is there anywhere you want to travel or anywhere you want to go for, not just for a holiday, but possibly relocate?
Other countries, of course, particularly Iceland. I would like to go to Iceland.
Why? Why Iceland?
It's a magical place. But yeah, mostly I would love to go to resorts and beaches around here because I haven't visited most of them yet. I really enjoy going to, exploring. Recently, it's only been recently that I explored places here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you wanted to go to Iceland?
You like going to the beach?
Yeah, I would love that. Just for a chance to sketch, do art.
And sketch.
Oh yeah, okay. You got me.
It's like you have to step away from work by going somewhere else and working.
It's not work.
No, sorry. Yeah. No, I understand. It's not. There's sketching that you do for work, and then there's kind of art that you make for yourself. And one is very tiring and can burn people out. The other one is very therapeutic and kind of recharges you even if you're working. Yeah. So
it's learning.
Yeah.
Always take the opportunity to learn. I don't always go out, so.
So any particular beach you're aiming for?
No, I don't. I just go wherever.
Just go where the sun is.
Dramatic.
That's deep, man. But there's sun everywhere.
Except but not.
So you have to go in the morning. Cool.
Cool. Okay, so now we're I think we've reached our 1 hour mark, and again, this has been a wonderful episode.
Yeah.
We get to learn much about the great.
Don't say great.
Yeah.
Known as
In this whole group, I think she's the only one that's humble about herself. We're all just like, Abby!
No.
No, but she's a great person. She's right here next to me. I don't know if I'm speaking in third person, but yeah, I guess thank you so much for coming and joining us. It's been
Thank you, Abby.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck in your future projects.
yeah.
It's gonna take a while.
Do you want to say anything to the listeners? And a bit again, there would be lots of listening.
No.
I'm not sure if it's gonna be 10,400, but
Yeah, maybe 20,400.
No, I mean last week we had like 50, so now we've got like 78.
Funny how the internet works.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your parting words?
Yeah, let's start your
keep
week.
drawing. Just keep drawing, and don't get too discouraged. Don't get too discouraged with so many beautiful art, because you can do it too.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Words of advice from Abigail Dela Cruz. Okay, so that wraps it up for our first guest for Eat Some Dynamite, and our third week. We were supposed to cover more E3. We just haven't, and that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah,
we'll
come back next week with another episode. So for those of you that are still listening, just keep in touch. I don't know. You can keep in touch. Just text us. We're gonna post up some links to Abby's Twitter and her blog and her contacts.
And several links that she mentioned, especially the mentorship programs.
Yes, that too. The mentorship.
Twitter.
So we're gonna be putting all of that up in case you want to reach out to Abby and give her a shout out, ask her what other questions that you have. And so in the meantime, we're gonna say ta-ta for now. This is Kyle.
This is Shari Aquino.
This is Kim.
This is Manuel Bernales. And don't forget to eat some dynamite.